Hello, my knitting superstars. Welcome to a very special video guest post. This is Liat of KnitFreedom.com, and I'm here with Esther Gokhale of the Gokhale Method. She is my posture guru and the person who's responsible for helping me heal my back pain. And I'm so excited that she has come to teach you some of the most helpful tips to get rid of your back pain. So welcome, Esther.
I'm delighted to be here with you.
Thank you. Can you tell me what is the Gokhale Method?
Gokhale Method helps people restore their natural architecture, which is the posture and movement ways that we all had when we were very little children, 2 years old, and that our ancestors had, and you don't have to go back that far, certainly the hunter-gatherers, but even 100 years ago, people had really excellent architecture and movement patterns, and you still find these in a few populations today. So Gokhale Method helps you get back to that particularly efficiently and in a sustained way.
Wonderful. So when I think of, the issues that I have as a knitter, I think of my shoulders hunching, my back slumping over, certainly my arms hurting. And I know that a lot of you have written in and complained of similar, all sorts of varied chronic issues. So where should we start?
Well, shoulder repositioning is a really good place to start, because I know that whenever you're working ahead of you, there is the tendency to migrate the shoulders forward, and this compromises circulation to and from the arms and compromises breathing and makes you increasingly hunched, which then compromises your spine, and it's actually a relatively easy place to begin. So to do a shoulder roll, you want to isolate the shoulder and take one shoulder at a time, a little forward, a little bit up, and then without letting your chest pop, you want this shoulder to come back, and relax. And it's as though you have ratcheted the soft tissue back, and you'll notice that your hands don't reach out as far as they did previously. So a little forward, little bit up, a lot back, ratcheting the soft tissue back, now relaxing, and now no longer holding the shoulders back, just relaxing. And look how beautiful that is.
Feels good. I feel very open right now as I'm knitting, and my knitting is close to me, so I'm loving this shoulder roll. And what else do we have?
Well, one thing that can help with mitigating fatigue, for example, from sitting long hours, and I know you people sit long hours, is instead of letting your spine compress and the nerves get impinged in your back, you can use a backrest to traction your back. And it just makes it more restful and easier to last. And for that, we need some implement. So to stretch sit, you scooch your bottom all the way back in the chair. And here we've created a gap in this pain-free chair. Now you come away from the backrest. You curve your rib cage forward. You use your hands on the seat pan or wherever you have leverage. And you lengthen this part, the lumbar part of your spine. Then you hinge back and you hook your back to something sticky there. In this case, we have some sticky nubs that are sewed into the backrest. Now you can follow with your shoulder roll, and that'll help you kind of stay hooked. And if you don't have one of our chairs, then you can use one of these stretch sit cushions with the sticky pads, and you can just, on a fabric chair, you just settle it behind you. It settles on your rump, and that's about the right height and gives you a similar kind of sticky surface to suspend yourself from. And it can also work with a towel or something which offers you friction. And you would arrange that side to side is the easiest. And you want this mid back, not low back. So you are really kind of suspended from the point of attachment, so your low back is in traction. How's that feel?
I love this. I haven't tried it with a towel yet. This is good. Well, here we are both stretch sitting, and I am feeling great. Here on a couch, just I've got myself with a little pillow and the Gokhale Method stretch sit cushion, which I have a handful of, and just hitched up like we learned. And Esther, I see that you are sitting differently than I am.
I grew up in India, and I really like being cross-legged. It keeps my feet warm. And, it doesn't work without some support. I mean, you end up hunching or arch sitting, but combined with stretch sitting, it works really well. So I do a lot of extended tasks this way.
Okay, perfect. And especially if you have a deep couch, it's probably more comfortable than trying to get your legs over the edge, right?
It's true.
Possible. So, you know, if you don't have a stretch sit cushion yet, I'll show you where to get one, but you can use a towel or anything that's grabby, right? And I've even used like a folded up yoga mat. I had one and I just needed something to stick back there that I would stick to.
Yeah, and on an occasion, like in a movie theater where the chairs aren't very comfortable, I've stuck whatever it is I have behind my back to get a little bit of hook. I've used a shoe, I've used a fanny pack, something to pull me out of a slump.
Perfect. So what's next? What do we have next?
So even though the stretch sit technique helps with fatigue and helps last a long time, it's still a good idea to get up regularly. There's lots of research showing that it benefits your muscles, your circulation, your bone health to get up periodically. You've done a whole bunch of knitting, and now time to take a break. So we stand up, and what do you like to do in your breaks? What is your favorite?
The thing that feels best for me is to lean over and stretch my back.
Like that.
And take a deep breath into my back.
Nice. And I very much like to samba in my breaks, especially if I have music on. And that way I'm getting all kinds of stretches and strengthening exercises and patterning. But in any case, whatever you do, you are subjecting your body to all kinds of healthy G-forces and additional circulation. And it's just a good idea to break regularly.
One of the things that makes it easier for me to get up every so often, you know, when I need to, is to not have to put my knitting down and take everything off. So I like to keep my yarn in a little bag like this. And I just put it over the crook of my arm. That way if I want to make some tea or, you know, get to the door, there's nothing to put down. I just bring it with me.
Such a clever trick. I love it. One note, if you are going to put weight on your arm, it becomes even more important to really have your shoulder rolled back into the optimal position. That way you're not blocking circulation and you're not creating little irritations and bone spurs and bursitis and stuff. You want everything in a healthy architecture, all the more so if there's going to be weight or a heavy sweater.
So both shoulders.
Both shoulders nicely back. And
is mine correct?
Awesome. Yeah. And I recommend to get up even more often than you absolutely need to, like every 15 minutes or so is I think healthy and gets the circulation going, gets the G-forces on your bones and gets the muscles working, just shown by various studies to be a healthy thing.
I can do that every 15 minutes. I can do that, and so can you. I love what we learned about the stretch sitting. It was so comfortable, but I know that when I'm at knit night and chatting with other knitters, I'd like to be more forward and engaged. And I know that a lot of our readers have told me that their backs get tired when they're not sitting back against the pillows. So what's the solution?
Most people, when they're away from a backrest, go back and forth between being relaxed and slumped or upright and tense.
That was my issue before I learned this technique.
So both of those do damage. And what, as you know, we want to do is be upright and relaxed. And the key ingredient for this is to have the pelvis well positioned. To stack sit, it helps to have some kind of wedge to sit on the edge of. Now we have it built into the Gokhale pain-free chair, and we're going to use that. And Liat, if you can approach the chair in almost like a sitting on the toilet fashion, so that your tail, your imaginary tail, is set behind you. Don't want too much curve in the lumbar spine, and you're looking to be relaxed. And then you see if you stack well or if you crumple. Helps to have the shoulders rolled back, helps to have the knees angled down. And this is looking really, really great. Breathing in. So now she has all of this lengthening and self-massage happening in her back because she is so well stacked and the muscles are so relaxed alongside her back. So that did not come overnight.
No, actually, I have been practicing this for a long time. This took me like 3 months of practicing and going back to stretch sitting and then stack sitting and touching my back before I feel really truly upright but relaxed. But it's worth it.
Yeah,
you know,
she's making it look easy, but it's nuanced, and she's been very steadily lengthening her spine so that a perfect stacking is possible.
Well, because initially I was really, really swayed. I mean, I couldn't even let go, so I couldn't even relax. This is not as easy as it looks.
If you don't have a built-in wedge on your chair, you can always add a wedge, like a folded blanket or a soft towel, and sit on the edge of that. Or if that's not available either, you can always use the front edge of the chair, maybe padded or not, if you don't have any implements. So how about you demonstrate how you would sit on the edge of this chair? And again, she's slanting her knees down, which helps the pelvis settle well. And that's looking really nice. You completely relax. And then breathe in. And that is a really good test of how your back, how well stacked your back is. This is great. So one of the really nice things about stack sitting is how versatile it is. You can be doing this on a rock. And look at you, perched on a little pillow here on the edge of the couch, and really sitting very beautifully upright. And you've been here a while, and you look very relaxed.
I am. It's a huge difference. I am upright and relaxed, which is the goal. And you know, I also work at the computer a lot, just like many of us, and it's the same, just like this. Yeah.
So I really like switching out stretch sitting, stack sitting, back and forth, standing. And then you are really getting the best of each position. Each of them has advantages.
I know that right now I'm knitting without looking at what I'm doing, but I'm very guilty of getting so concentrated into what I'm doing that everything gets really close like this if I'm following a lace pattern, and I know that my students have the same issue and their necks start to hurt because of this. So what can be done about that?
So you share the problem with people who are working behind a computer, and I know you do that too. So it's really easy to get drawn into your work and crane your neck forward and round. Important thing is to remember which way is up. So for elongating the neck, one really effective way is to grasp 1 or 2 little tufts of hair at the base of your skull and gently pull back and up. So you're gliding your head back, you're lengthening, and you're also letting your chin relax down instead of lifting your chin, which causes some compression in the neck. That looks really beautiful. You can also use a weight, and we've recently created this head cushion. And the best person to place it on you is you. You can feel where this best spot is. So go ahead and play with it a little bit. And That looks really good. That looks like you've got it in such a spot that you're pushing up along this axis. How's that?
I love that you don't have to think about how to push up. Your neck just straightens up when you put it on. It's pretty amazing.
It's surprisingly effective, and I think it's because carrying on one's head is a very, very old activity. You know, all our ancestors did that, and so there's an old memory of this, and it recruits all the stabilizer muscles in your neck and in your spine, and is very helpful if you're going to be working at a computer, or if you're knitting and are able to not look at your knitting. That could be a nice little check-in.
Just helps you know what the sort of a baseline, right? Just this is what it feels like when it's right.
That's
but you
where
can't
your
leave
axis
this.
is.
You can't leave this on, right? Like,
you can.
Oh yeah.
Depending on the strength of your neck.
Okay.
Now, I wouldn't leave it on to the point that you're fatigued.
Okay.
Lengthening the neck and restoring neck architecture is a very important piece because the tissues in there are so delicate, and a lot of people get in trouble with their necks.
I know for me, I mean, I did have a neck injury that was I was pretty much afraid to move. And one of the things that you told me that really helped me, that just made a dramatic change, was to take my tummy muscles and bring them sort of up and in, but not to let my ribs come out. When I did those at the same time, my neck just came up. And that might not work for everybody, but for me it made a dramatic difference.
Yeah, that's a technique I call the inner corset. And it's a very particular set of muscles deep in the abdomen, deep in the back, that makes you slenderer, makes you taller.
Love it.
Hurts. And helps your neck settle well. And there are just a lot of techniques, different ones are critical for different people.
Sure.
But I really like that one too.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Well, you know, I learned a lot of this ahead of time because I took one of Esther's courses. She has them all over the country, and got one-on-one help specifically with my issues and learning the techniques. And I highly, highly recommend them. But she also has like books and DVDs and the actual devices to help with the posture that I also recommend. Can you tell me more about those?
Yeah, the book is a really good way for people to begin with. Try, you know, over 1,100 images, step by step, a little bit.
Yes, I love it.
Along your
lines.
Learning from it. And but then for visual learners, the DVD helps as well. And then, yeah, it really is hands-on coaching that's the best of all.
Okay.
It's kinesthetic, and you know, it's like trying to learn golf from a book isn't quite as good as having someone tweak you a little more this way, a little more that way, and write to you.
So would you recommend for people to start, if they just want to get some relief right now, where would they start?
They could start with the book, probably as the easiest entry, because that's available so quickly and inexpensively. And then getting a one-on-one lesson with any of our teachers, and we have an increasing number of teachers all over the world, is another good place to start.
And I did that too. I just pulled out all the stops. I couldn't get enough of the Gokhale method. So if you feel the same way, or if you'd like a lot of relief from your back pain, and also just to look more relaxed and poised, please go to gokhalemethod.com. We'll spell it for you in writing. And avail yourself of all the experience and techniques that she has to offer. It's going to make a huge difference in your back and your life.